Okay, this is my second time recording this. Thankfully, I caught the audio mistake I had made early. Hopefully, there's not another audio mistake, but I don't know because I've been having trouble with them recently. OBS looks fine, so I'm gonna just hope. We're gonna do 5 games total from Juddstice, from SoS. 3 zones, 1 win, 1 tower, 1 clams. The interesting thing is that we drop a lot of games to the teams that should be easier, but like I think this team wins the entire tournament, but we beat them in a game. So I'm interested to see why that happens. We're just gonna, like I said, we're gonna start with zones first on what should be the easier team, and then I'm gonna go to the other modes after we do all the rest of the zones. So I already watched I watched a minute of this before I saw the audio issue. I don't have too many comments to make about the opening here or like the comp. I think we can work with this. And in general, I don't like telling people to like swap off their comps. So like if this works for you, then that's what I'll be trying to give you guys advice for, I guess. Okay, so the first thing I noticed was right here. So Lex goes in, makes a really strong individual play for the blaster, and catches basically everyone on the team off guard. This is really strong play. This is kind of risky. The way we eliminate a lot of this risk and also like follow up better on it is by doing exactly that. We follow up better on it. So notice how like when the carbon goes in here, like notice how no one follows in at all. We don't see like anyone even looking right, which is basically that's the person on the right is the only one that could pick the carbon right now, right? Because the carbon's in a really good spot, so we should be having someone follow up through. Thankfully the Glugas doesn't peek for whatever reason. That's a mistake by them, but the carbon will be able to do more if we are following up. So Lex, when you go to make the call for, or like, you know, if you call at the very start of the game or even before the game starts that you're gonna look for something in mid, that's how we should know that, okay, we need to be looking like right, or whoever can contest Lex we should be looking at basically. Now I know most of us see this guy on right because we like dropped them. You'll see here both the Brella and maybe the bow also see the Gluga. I'm assuming now we just kind of assume that they're like gone, which they basically are. So like this is, yeah, I mean this is all fine and you guys get it done pretty well. It's just that if we want to eliminate like most of the risk that comes with a play like this, we can do a lot of it just by like sending a Brella shield in or just trying to play a little more with Lex. Like obviously Lex wants to make the solo play here, but we should be ready either way to develop it into like a full team push, I guess. But we are pretty far back right now, even with how much control we have after that pick. Okay, going forward, I do like most of this. This seems fine. Yeah, I like that. Like Lex, you come in here and you take out the Brella. This is nice. You play this pretty well. And good on our Brella too for like backing up out of this. You're in a pretty risky spot. You kind of see that you need to just like back up a bit, so that's good. This is all great. We get picked by Pen. The only thing here actually is that I don't like that we didn't take too much space. So like what I see here is a lot of potential for, like, look at how it's just Pen front, right? Like when they're in this sort of scenario, we could probably just go up left a little, like to the like black box. I don't have my like drawing thing right now, but but if I could, I would draw on like the black box area there. Like that's a really strong place to set up, and since your team, like look at your team right now, your team is 4 up versus they're like 2 people. Only one can really even like actually contest you right now. Like you can take a lot of that space without dying here, or putting yourself in too much risk. So I think a lot of that can be taken, and maybe even to the point where we could get like our bow up here if we're really quick about it, you know. But the bow getting there isn't like that's not too necessary. That might be risking it a little too much. But because we don't take that space top left, like what you're gonna see here is that they just move through it super quick, right? Look at their blaster, look at their Gluga. They get the one pick, nothing is stopping them from moving forward, and now they're contesting on zone. Took like 5 seconds. So yeah, that's not good. We go down 2 to the blaster. Let's see how we play this. A lot of jump-ins. I don't like these jump-ins. This should be kind of obvious why, though. Like, if we're looking at the map when you guys do jump in, not this first jump in, but like this one. Like, they have zone control, and our furthest back teammate is pretty far front. It's just a little too risky. Definitely not good jumps in, and that's not gonna help you here. Let me go back, see what else is going on. Like, the only other thing here is we don't do too much. Like, the Carbon is sharking. Lex, you can shark. You're in a pretty open spot. And it's on your like teammates for dying here. But I don't see us getting too much out of this at the same time. So like, you seem very focused on this S-Blast here. We have to keep an open mind that like, that this might not be the only player that you should be trying to kill right now. Notice how the dually comes in here. We could easily pop around that wall and like at least trade them, and that would stop at least one death here, I think. Right. That's probably pretty hard to see though, because you are just like, you know, looking at the S-Blast. But from your spot there, you're in like a really risky spot to begin with. So I think you want to be looking for a shark kill, like the quicker the better, I guess, as quickly as possible. Okay. So far from what I've seen in this last 20 seconds is a lot of deaths. We're not stabilizing our position at all, and mostly that's just due to jump-ins here. Like, no matter what though, with what Lex has, we're not getting too much off of this. Like, Lex is not gonna be able to find like 3 and then get jumps in, and like that's just not possible. So we have to settle at some point. Looks like we finally have a position where we can settle. They're guaranteed lead though because of our deaths on jump-ins. Lex gets a good kill. And we follow up pretty well. Nice. Nice, okay. Yeah, this is all great. I really like this. The only questionable thing here is pack, I think. Like, the pack is used a little early. The only real reason to use pack here is probably for jump-ins, but I think you should be using that a little further up. Like, continue the push with pack from like up by glass almost. See how like you can't even like you can't even kind of reach them. The pack is almost all the shots I think are wasted here, and we could be using this for later on. But like the only way to really recognize that is when we go. Hold on, let me show you. When we get the first pick, notice how we get this first pick right on the blaster who's super overextended. We punish this really well, right? And then Lumi gets the pick on organic, and then like here, because we have Zuka out, like even if the Zuka doesn't get a pick, Lumi, they're forced to go back, right? Because Zuka, like Zuka's pressure is going to force them back, which means that your pack is going to get less value. So as soon as you hear that Zuka go out after already getting 2 total, we can save pack basically. That's how you know to save pack, at least for a little longer, or hold it until you can at least see what's going on in front of you. Because when you pack here, let's look at this one more time. When you pack here, you have very, oh my god, I gotta go back even more. You have very little view of where everyone is. Like, you definitely see at least one, but again, they're very far back. You don't see the second one, who is even further back. So yeah, I just don't think we need to be burning pack there. Okay, let's go back just a tiny bit too for this part. So going forward, we cap zone pretty nicely. We have to recognize that because we don't have pack, we're gonna have to play this a little safer than just like a flat out wipeout. Plus we have, you know, multiple specials ready to go. I do like where we're trying to fight this at. I think Lex pops in maybe a little early here. But I do like that we're trying to take the fight to like where this bomb is, the suction bomb. Like that's a good place to take the fight. I think we need to wait for them to step in a little more though. Like Lex, when you peek here, I think you just get hit. You might just want to like go back to the left side and drop down if you get hit there, because you can shark up nicely all the way to like where you get here. Like you see like here, but you're just popping out too quickly. That's all. And you kind of notice that, so at least you do try to back up. I do think you take the wrong route though, because you should have just backed up from the left side and dropped down. And it unfortunately ends up getting your team killed too. Strikes to save this is not good either. I don't like the strikes here because there's no point in trying to hold the zone. We're 2 down, it's 2v4, plus they're striking. Like, let's just give it to them. Yeah, you see, like, not only do we strike here, but we go down for it too, because we're trying to hold it with strikes, I guess. You are able to actually hold a decent amount of space with it, but in general, I think it this is like doing something like this is a far more like risky play than you should be making here. I'm gonna watch it one more time. Simply because your team is just not up to deal with any front pressure. Like they also take a ton of time, and see how they just like feed you one by one here. I think that's a lot of why you win these fights. Like if the enemy team is even a little more coordinated, it's going to be very hard for you to get too much out of those strikes. Okay, but because we are actually able to get something out of it, let's go back, see what else we can get. We get separated by Booyah Bomb. Lex gets a great kill, hides behind the right. I like this. I like this a lot. Strikes are out. Zuka's out. Okay, hold on. Whoa. We use Zuka to split them almost, or that's what happens with the Zuka plus strike, right? It splits them. It stops them. I just don't see. Maybe we don't see the players on left, or they're not called out enough, but we should definitely be focusing the players left first. Yeah, so look how we both see them. We see them both glass. We see at least one. And I guess our teammates probably think it's just the Brella, but in reality it's not. It's 2. And that's where it goes wrong. Okay, so yeah, we should definitely be focusing left above all else here. I think, like, Lex, you could probably help dive left here, just because we're already so far up. You know, you might as well just go help left. But yeah, we're just super separate here. Make sure we're making calls for where they are, especially when specials are being used and stuff, you know, so we know where to, like, look, I guess, and go, following our specials. Yeah, this is... And then the pack here, again, so, like, what I'm noticing is that we use a lot of specials after they take control or they win a fight. And in general, I don't like that. I think it's a bad habit. Like, notice how when we pack here, like, we're stranded and we're dead. There's not much for us to do. And because of that, we get picked off. Like, we can go through the thought process too. Like, I understand why you use pack there to specifically help with the left, but your teammate's already down. I could definitely understand it a lot more if your teammate is still up. Like, if your teammate is like back, it's kind of hard to see, but back behind like this block, like right where your name is, then I could definitely see a reason to pack. But your teammate's down, and not only that, but your other teammate was down when you packed as well. So it's just it's a little difficult to be able to pack here. You're going to get like targeted by multiple people, which is exactly what happens here. Okay, well, we can go to retake. Like, I think this is all stuff that is easily like that. It all should make good sense that like, okay, yeah, we shouldn't be packing when we're down this much and stuff like that. I just think that it's more, it's usually at least more of a lack of awareness about like, okay, my teammates are 2 down right now, or my teammate is gonna die before I can pack or strike or anything like that. I think that's usually where it comes down to. Not that we don't know, like, okay, wait, this is kind of a bad pack spot, I guess. So hopefully it's like that. But it definitely it definitely does usually come down to awareness. Okay. Let's get some nice go here. Let's go back just a tiny bit. I like a lot of things about this. I like that most of the team is looking left. I don't know how to say your name, Key or Kai, the shot. The only thing about this, right, is when you go top right, you do a good job of poking out with bombs, but you are like a sitting duck for this S-Blast, which is exactly what happens. Like, notice how the S-Blast just kind of can peek you and kill you. You need to be opening almost more than anyone else on the team. Like, you need to be opening up on the left side here. Unless you're like extremely close as, okay, you're extremely close to Zuka. So okay, it makes sense why you would go there. We at least need to be taking a safer approach there, you know, because you don't see anyone below you. I'll go back one more time. I know I'm going back a lot. You definitely don't see anyone below you here when you respawn. Like, you maybe saw the one person there, but like, notice how your angle just now popping up. Like, if S-Blast is here even quicker, you're dead even quicker. But it looks like your reaction time is maybe a little slow to that too. Okay, let's go back to just the general play, because I do understand the play of going top right for if you have Zuka. I think that's actually pretty smart. It worked well on the first push, so it probably will work on this push too. The only thing is just be more careful, I guess. Okay, we can go back to the general play now. So this is honestly pretty solid. Like maybe you go a little far here, considering we're already 1 down. You know, your shot player is down, so this is gonna be like, it's more, instead of pushing fully into mid, this is, no matter what, this is gonna be more of a, okay, we're gonna gain some space here. Like, I'm gonna make a play to gain some space here, but I'm not going to be able to cap zone. You should be thinking about it that way, right? Because your shot is down, you guys are going to have very little chance of capping zone here. So what can you do instead? You can take out the people closest, like that are immediate threats, which is what you do with one of them. We leave the S-Blast, but we'll talk about that. You do some of that, but then after this, like, look how you take out the Gluga here. You don't look back for the S-Blast, right? And you are super overextended by the time we get but by the time like the rest of us are here. Notice how only one of your teammates can even help you, or can even like look your direction right now at the time you're fighting it. The reason is because our shot is down. We're in a 3v4 trying to retake zone, and I also don't think the strike should be going out on zone because they're not going to be very helpful there. They're just basically stalling the timer, but you guys are going to be bleeding a lot of time no matter what here because our shot is down. So when we go back to this, right, I think our goal our goal here seems to be that we just want to cap zone. Like, that is our main goal right here, is capping zone. We need to focus more after a shot goes down like this. Our focus now just becomes, okay, what can we salvage from this, right? We salvage the kill on organic, which we just did, and as well as the S-Blast by making them drop like they do there. Then we focus, okay, now that we have our right side, you know, we have where we're playing, you know, like a little further back, then we can focus on the umbrella, then we can move up to zone. Especially once your shot's back in, then we can move up back to zone. You're just a little too far here, Lex, and you get caught off by the umbrella because you move so quickly towards that zone. Like, you're trying to just gain too much space, compared to what your team is even capable of accomplishing here. Now I think if the strikes did come out like, you know, not in zone but more towards this, like, I don't even know what to call it, like the bridge area by glass, like around there, if they came out around where that fight is going on right now, you guys would probably be able to retake, honestly, because this is definitely very close. Like, I can tell this is very close. It's just that our fights, like, we're not taking into consideration that, okay, wait, zone might just literally not be possible until our shot is back in. And yeah, I think that's what happens here, because then we take single fights against the umbrella. It goes pretty ugly, and now our chances of capping zone from our position before, when we had just killed the Glugos, went from like, okay, we have a pretty decent chance, we have like a 50% chance of being able to cap this zone once our shot gets back in, to now it's like 10, maybe 0. We do have pack, but yeah, I'm not going to take into consideration too much of like what happens here, because you guys just don't really have a chance at this point. Like, it's too late. But yeah, like, I think you guys are just at the end there, you guys are just going for too much for what can be accomplished in that sort of situation. Okay, we did the zones one there. Let's jump around to we'll go to the zones win as the final one. Just want to make sure we get all the same, like, map ones done, or mode ones done first. Okay, this should be the hardest set. Let's see if it is. Okay. They are going a pretty interesting comp. That's actually about what I expected from them, though. Our opening... Okay. Okay, a few things here. I originally thought it was the bow looking to the right, but it's not. So this is actually better than I thought. Okay. So let's talk about from the very beginning. The only thing I notice here, right, is look at how Lex is trying to get in, right? This comes down to callouts in the opening. Our opening, like, even before we play the match, we should always be talking about, okay, where are we trying to get, like, Lex in? Because Lex is almost always, I think, at least from what I've seen so far, going to be trying to go for, like, these opening picks, right? So in that case, okay, Lex, we should be asking, where do you want to go at the start for this map? It looks like from here, probably just playing around mid, mostly the left side, right? Okay, so we have a side down, we have the left side here. Next thing is, how are we going to enable Lex to get into this position? A lot of our methods of enabling Lex here just comes down to how much Key plays this left side. So you see how here, like, if Key kept painting the left side, like, Lex could easily just pop out and, like, kill the what do you call it? The mini here. Like, very quickly after this happens. So Key, you could definitely play up a bit more. Just make sure you don't get picked. Like, as soon as we see this S-Blast rotate, I think that's why you play a little far back here, even with the S-Blast in the position they're in. But when we see this S-Blast, like, rotate to the right, okay, now we can just keep staying where you are. Now, you do have a lot of pressure on you, Key, to make sure that you live in this spot, and so that's why you always can just back up left. You don't have to back up from the back. If you back up left and there's no AoE around you, like, you're pretty much good. And it seems like you are trying to get Lex in, but Lex isn't really able to do too much here because, one, we're not, like, really baiting for him in any way. Like, you see how Lex is just kind of, again, in this position, Lex is, like, really solo. So Lex has to just really wait. And even then, they know that Lex is back there. So it's, like, a little ugly here. But yeah, like the main thing here is I think you can play up just a tiny bit more here. Make sure you keep painting in front of Lex if you can. Obviously don't do it if you're like immediately gonna die. But try to paint a little more there. Try to get Lex an opening. Lex still is able to find something on the right because the blaster makes a dumb decision to peek that, even though we know that Lex is like behind the pillow. So yeah. But like the thing is, I think because of that, like Lex takes an okay opening rather than a really good opening of having like left side and still also threatening the right side at the same time. And then not only that, but we're also obviously not able to help with Lex because we didn't clear this left side, which is the, like, when we look at this, right? What side did we have more control of? Like even from here at the start, what side did we have more control of? We had more control over the left side, right? So it's going to be easier for us to move through this left because Key's in a really good spot, like right in this exact moment. Key's in a really good spot, so it's going to be really easy for us to move through the left side, whereas the right side, we're still contesting Wiper. You know, like, if we go right zone, Wiper can peek us. Not only that, but obviously the S+ too. So it's a lot here. But I think in general we should just be trying to enable Lex as much as possible here in the opening to go for these types of plays. I think this fight on the right makes a lot of sense. This is really smart. Originally I thought it was the bow looking at the Wiper here, but it's not, which is good. I don't think the bow should be looking at the Wiper here. So it's really, really good that we decided to look back to the right there. But yeah, okay, so now we're here, right? We've gotten the worst of the two options for like our fight in mid, and because of that, they have bubble up. Okay, so how can we come back from this, like settle with this, and gain good advantage? I do like that we shred bubble. This is good. We peek a little too aggressively on the left side here. So Key, the difference here is now you can't help Lex, right? Like Lex is in a completely ungettable position, like unhelpable position, unless maybe you pick the guy on left if you like drop down quickly and see him, right? Like that's your only real easy way of getting this, and even then I don't think you're very aware of that, if at all. So we have to ask ourselves why this goes wrong. I think this goes wrong because you overstay your welcome. Like the difference here is that they have bubble up, right? And they're actively, even while Lex is there, honestly, they're still like pretty actively threatening just going up the stack. And that's exactly what they do. So you can like, here you can throw a bomb. You can throw a bomb, shred a little like you do here, and then by the time you repeak this, you see, okay, wait, hold on, they're not there anymore. Where are they? They're probably coming up stack. You know, so now's your time to back up. That's when you back up here, but you go forward and you just, that split like second decision was enough to mean that you overstayed your welcome. So yeah, that's unfortunate. Now at this point, we just have to see how much we can recover from this. Lumi decides to shoot a shot instead of backing up, so we get killed for that. Okay. Not too bad. They jump out too. Yeah, this is still very recoverable, obviously. We're gonna need a special. That's a decent trade, actually. I'll take that. Great Zuka. Okay, and again, same problem with the pack here. You just are, you're not packing anything. Like, if you want a like simple criteria to go after for this is like, remember here, right? They're 1 down. They go 2 down right here, right? And the Zuka's up. If those criteria are met, we probably don't want to be packing unless we see someone in our immediate line of sight that is like actively threatening our Zuka or something. But there's no one like that. You know, you could so easily like pack up front here on the box. It wouldn't even be like a question. It'd be very good for you guys. Then you guys get zoned for free here. But yeah, our pack's a little far back. It's not as far back as it was last game, and you can see that because you get this guy on right. That's good, really good. Strikes here to continue. Not bad, not bad. This is all good. We don't realize they're flanking. Okay, wait. We do realize they're flanking, I think. It's just we don't realize how far they go back. Yeah, you definitely know that there's someone on left. Okay, I would not be taking this position against a wiper on left. Because you, Lumi, again, you have very little information on where this wiper is, you know? You see this, you have no clue now where they are behind this stack. It is your time to go reposition onto like right stack. You know, you can take this while your teammates deal with the guy behind. You do not have to risk yourself here. Like, it would be very nice for you right now, Lumi, to go up to this right stack and just hold down the position, make sure that they don't drop left for free and stuff. And you can help your team out that way, right? By getting into position quickly. But you do decide to take this really risky spot here. Because I guess you're trying to clean up quickly. Okay. So, yeah. We're in a lot worse of a spot because of that, because now not only does our team have to come back, right, but we also obviously go down to the wiper. So that immediately tells me that we're not going to keep the zone very long. You do a good job of... Okay, no. Hold on, we gotta go back here. This is exactly what I'm talking about. Like, you guys are just overstaying your welcome. It's good to try to hold space. You guys, like, from what I've seen in a lot of teams, like, you guys are trying to hold your space a lot more than other teams that I think are around your level, but this is not exactly what I would call holding your space entirely. Like, you're holding the stuff that is going to be recovered anyway. Like, there's nothing you can do to stop the space in front of you here, Key, from being taken. And Zuka is not a good idea because you weren't able to, like, play off of it. None of your team is alive. But I think, again, we realize that it's maybe just, again, like, a bit of a lack of awareness of the game state, maybe. So yeah, now we're just worse off, right? Because Key, you could very easily here be backing up left, ready to reposition Zuka for, like, the same thing you had at the start. Your first retake, you had a really nice Zuka from the left side, right? You could basically set that exact same thing up again. You don't have to be playing for this mid space. It's good that you're trying to keep some control, like I said, but it gets to a point where you just simply are overstaying your welcome. And that's what I see here. So you could back up Zuka from, again, like here, this would be a great time to Zuka, or very soon once your teammates get in. Like this right here, when Lex is going in, great time to Zuka, right? Now, because now Lex is playing completely alone instead of having the shot with them. And because of that, we go down, right? And we're also not close to Zuka now. What else? Okay. I do like that we're focusing this left side. I think that's a better side to look at. Gets a little awkward here, I won't lie. We just kind of get special diffed, I think. So let's go back and look. Okay. So a couple things I do like. I like about this. Let's go back a little more. I like that we try to strike to get Lex in. I like that after Lex realizes that that there isn't too much for them to get on right, they rotate left. Like, this is all good. There's a lot of things I notice here. So the first one is that Lex, if you do notice that there's nothing on right for you, don't drop like that. Do the left drop from this like box area instead. Like, I think again here we're a little too focused zone. So look at our positions here, right? None of us are really in position to contest zone, yet we're putting two specials out specifically, like, mostly for zone here, you know? Like, the strikes could be used a little better to get Lex in. Like, they're kind of still doing that, because they're providing, like, smoke screens and stuff. But I don't think this like, all three of these strikes should be directly on zone right now. Like, now is not the time to really consider zone, just because we have, again, we have so little space in terms of like what's right in front of us. We're gonna have to move really far to even contest with these strikes, like contest zone with these strikes. So it's better to instead get Lex in on left using the strikes on left, or like, you know, primarily on left, and then maybe like one zone, instead of just putting all three on zone. Because when you put all three on zone here, okay, so now what have we done with that, right? We haven't, one, with the strikes, we haven't even been able to stall the zone, which is what their primary purpose was. Two, only like maybe 2 people are even there to contest when the strikes land. Maybe 2 people, right? Like, look at our positions right now, and then one of us is like far back right. That's a shot. We're just in general, we are not ready to go for a zone cap, which is what I think these strikes are primarily for, like I said. And because of that, now Lex has a much worse fight against this guy on the left, which is like our primary way in here is from this left side, based off of Lex's play here. Like, this is what will either decide whether we get in right now or we're gonna have to wait even longer to retake. Is how this fight against the mini goes for Lex. And because we don't have those strikes up and the Booyah comes out on our side, like, we're just dead here. Again, I also think the pack is basically the same issue with the strikes here, is that when we pack for this, Lumi, you have, again, you're using it extremely far back. And not only that, but your pack is early. Your pack is used here basically to cap zone, but again, your teammates are not there. Yeah, that's about it. Like, if we want to pack here, we're gonna need the Brella in, we're gonna need the shot in. Like, we're gonna need at least a little bit more control over our half of the zone to be able to pack here. You only pack like this if like a lot of people are contesting a certain side. So if the enemy team is like completely stacked on right, like under the box area, kind of where that S-Blast is, maybe a little further front, and you want to pack from right, that's where you pack for like stuff like this. Same thing on left. Like, if 3 or 4 of them are in like left box, maybe, or not left box, left stack, or even freezer, then I can definitely understand packing for this left side. But you're doing it so early, and your teammates are just not really prepared to move in here. So it gets a little awkward. What else? Okay, yeah, I think that's the main thing here. Like, we're obviously a little separated. Like, Key is not really playing with the rest of the team, but that's also because they're dealing with the S-Blast at the same time. So, I mean, I don't think it's one person's fault here, but we should definitely be moving more towards this left side, looking specifically at Lex's fight here, because that is how we're getting in, like I said. Okay. And then we also burn Zuka, which is just not needed. It's again the same exact problem where you're Zuking, but you have none of the space around you, so you're just like going for a desperate play with what's not needed. But yeah, I mean, at that point it was kind of too late anyway, so I guess I don't care too much about what happens last like 10 seconds when we're all basically wiped. So that's okay. Okay, we'll go to the win now. Let's see what you guys do differently here. I'm assuming that the difference here is that Lex actually is able to just get in and get the kill. Like, either we position our specials better for it, or something like that happens, and then all it takes here is like one decent hold on this map. So let's see what happens. I mean, they're playing different weapons too, so that might be part of it. Okay. Okay. We're gonna go back. This is a quick match, I just realized. So let's talk about this. I like what happens on the left side of the map here. Yeah, I gotta really analyze this. Like, so again, the only thing I have to say about this really is that Lex is really like alone again, but like that's okay in this sort of position. Lex should be able to clean up the kill on the splash, but doesn't. It's unfortunate. We have to settle with it. Like the strikes come out, and we kind of have to be. We're forced to basically like play away from Lex. So that's okay. I think everything here is fine. Maybe this is where it starts to go wrong a little. We decide to play like right. It looks like you're kind of maybe trying to salvage anything on the right you can, but you're taking a little too much space here, and yeah, you get caught off because of it. It's at least a little better if you would go slower into the right side, I think. Like that's the main thing here. You're taking a lot of space really quick, and that's a lot of it. Maybe you're even looking for that jump. Okay, and because of that, I think there's a big like momentum shift here where, okay, we go from having a pretty winning position here, right? Because, okay, our Brella's up, our shot's up, Lumi's getting into position, and then now, like, all of a sudden, okay, wait, hold on, we just lost all of the right side of the map because we overextended slightly. And then they just come in, and they won the opening because of that. Okay, but we have a retake, Lex gets in, this is a much better Zuka than the other ones I saw last game. Okay, that's lucky with the splash. Good 2v1 on the right side. Another good 2v1 there with the pack. That's a much better pack. Again, you have like you have an enemy that you're looking at. You like also don't pack too far away. You know, you see how you like compared to where the enemy died. You're still pretty close. And still in a safe spot, which is important. So yeah, it's all good. Lex is really stranded here. Okay, yeah, so that we get picked off. We have no paint on this right side, Lex, so it's really risky for you to be painting right, or playing right. One of us should be painting this to help Lex too. Like, we are, again, just super separated from Lex in this position when we really shouldn't be all of that separate. Yeah, that's all I really have to say about this, right? Like, we don't all have to be playing super far back again. But we kind of are just due to how we were playing before. Let me go back even. Let's see. Someone could definitely play right here. Like, to me, it looks like we just take our time to do stuff. But yeah, if we're gonna be this slow, I mean, also because of recall, I guess, right? And key jump in, we're pretty slow to this. So this is just a bit of a risky spot for you to be in, Lex. We just don't have the space front yet for you to be doing that. Also, we focus strikes here, which could be your kind of like way in. So you don't have to go for such an aggressive shark, especially if we're getting strikes. But they do a pretty good job of like catching you on this too, you know. This is a good team. Okay. All good though. This looks nice. We play for the left side, which I really like, especially for Brella. Like this is smart. Lex gets in from behind. The fights go our way mostly. Yeah, they go our way. Okay. I think the fights just go our way here, actually. Like, this is a little more isolated than I would like. Like, you know, Lex is going behind, which is nice, but only one of us is really looking front at a time here. Like, see how Key dives in, and then we basically like do the same thing. It's a little isolated for me. I would really like if we can somehow find a way to stall this plat and just stay up here. That would be a lot better, I think. You know, like Horatio, you don't have to be dropping right here. You can probably keep it with the Brella. The Brella shield, at least for a little longer, and then when Key pops up here, like, we have this, you know, because you're there to help, so yeah, you guys should be good. And I think that's the only thing messy about this. Like, other than that, this is pretty good. Like, Lex, you go in at a great time too. Lumi's like supporting for the most part, like looking at the fights at the same time, so it's like, it's pretty good. It's pretty good. And that's all you guys really need here, I think. This is just like a weak position from the enemy to begin with, so that's all pretty good is all you really need here. It's just, again, like, he's a little overextended for us backing up. Okay. Where do we go from here? This has to go right somehow, right? How does this go? Great sharking spot. That's fantastic. Nice. Yep. Okay. Okay. Yeah, we just went off this, right? Okay. Let's go. I want to go back just once here, because I think we still can play this better. Not specifically Lex, but I think like the rest of us can here. For one, I think we give them a little too much space, right? I want to look at this again. Lumi, I think you could be snipe right now. Yeah, think about it this way, right? When we are Lumi, when you're where you were right here, you have very little view of their entire entry because Lex is playing so far left. Like if Lex wins those fights, everyone who's pushing basically has to come from this right side, right? And because of that, when you play here, you see almost nothing from the right side. Whereas if you were to play just a little up on the snipe, you don't have to be like on top of the boxes, right? But you just get a little more view, and you can maybe throw like a dart or something. Just it's better that you get a little more view of this right side because they have so much entry from this right side, is what I'm saying. Now you do make the smarter play here because you keep staying here, which is just to back up. Like it's good that you just back up here, because you didn't take the right instead, and you don't know what's coming that way. So this is all good. It's just if you want to make sure that this splash isn't able to just like get to this spot, because in this spot they're actually kind of threatening. We stop that by going right. And then you can also pack from there too. Pack there would be even stronger than it is right here, right? For the same reasons like that I've talked about for all the other packs, I guess. Okay, but like most of this still goes really well. The only other thing I see is Key. I think you should be painting zone instead of trying to fight here. Like I think your main job is just keep zone painted. Horshio can keep the left side under control. Like Horshio has the power to really stall this splash fight and make sure that they can't just straight up win the fight, because that's not going to happen. So if you just stay alive, like you're doing good, Key. But yeah, we give them a very small chance here of getting anything because we do go down. Okay. Hold on. Okay. Let's go. Ooh, I don't know. We do the tower game against the same team and then go back to clams. I think so. I should have really gotten water before I did this, but I want to do it in one session, so I don't want to have to like edit it and cut it at all. So I'm gonna just keep going, I think. Okay. Going to the next game. They have V-Splash this time. Otherwise, not too many changes. And obviously the wiper again. Okay. Great fight, Key. Like, we could actually really break down this fight and why it's good. It's risky, but good. So from here, like, you just kind of recognize that because they are located, like, they're not really paying too much attention. And you also just, like, you get a good angle for the shots. Like, this is all very good. And then you back up too. Like, if you didn't back up, you were dead, but you did back up, which is fantastic. This is exactly what I want to see. That's great. The splash is able to find Lex. I don't know. This is, hold on, let me look back at this one more time. So the difference here is that, okay, a couple things. One, Key, you do make a really aggressive play. Like that's the first thing, right? Because this is a really aggressive play, we don't have too much going for us on the left side. Now, it does mean that we get a lot of stuff going on the right, you know? See how now, okay, instead of our opening being from Lex on left, it's a lot more from Key on right, which is okay, you know, that's pretty good. Especially because we actually are able to get it done. And then we also clean up this guy on right. But Lex, you're just like, you're a little separated. So because we go for so much on right and so little on left, your position here is like super quickly just dealt with, Lex. And it's again because you don't have too much going for you on that side. That's the main thing. Like the pen has no one else to look at but you in that scenario, right? Because everyone else is playing right or back, which is a lot of why I think you die there. Great pick. Okay. Okay. We deal with this right side surely without dying. Good. Lex, you gotta settle there as well. I think here you just back up. You are already going for like a pretty risky kill. Like you definitely get damaged at least a little there. And the torp is out for you. Like you just back up. You back up there. Split second decision. But yeah, it costs you your life. Okay. We deal with that. Good. Okay, so like this is an interesting spot because you guys have like control here. It's just you're not able to do anything with it. When let's go back. Every time we do win a fight, we immediately lose it. Is what I'm seeing. Like we win the fight and then lose all the space that comes with it. This time it was from Lex, because we just kind of keep committing. And then we also Zuka, which I think burns a little more here. The Zuka spot is bad because of two reasons. One, your angle. You have very little view of anything other than like part of plat and some of like mid, which they can easily hide behind stack like how the Wiper is doing that right now. But that's not the main problem here. I think the main problem is that Lex is not up. And historically, with the zones retakes, if you remember, your Zukas are best paired with Lex being up, because when Lex is up, like, and your Zukas are moving them, like that is the key time for Lex to be going in and moving in as well and trying to get picks, right? But because Lex is down, like who's playing off the Zuka here? No one can, right? We have to just wait anyway. So not much gets done. And then they obviously get in on left, but we deal with it. This is all good. But again, I think we just lose it here. Yeah, so Horseshoe, you take what should be a good fight, but lose it. Like, okay, it happens. It's fine. But we still need to recover. We need to find a way through this without, like, we're basically doing what they were doing now. So instead of us having the advantage, they have the advantage, and now we're just looking to bring it back. Except, notice how when the splash killed Arbrella, we, like, look at how the splash plays here, right? The splash doesn't keep going for another kill or pop crab or anything, or you know, no one pops a special here. They just take the space right. Now they have right, you know, and now it doesn't matter because now you guys are completely isolated onto the left side now. You know, you have no chance of playing for right anytime soon. And because of that, it means that your position is a lot weaker. Because now, okay, they've settled. They actually have gained some space that is going to matter. And it's going to hold, right? Which is this right side. Which is the difference here. And then we pop crab while our teammates are going in. Or at least, you know, like much closer in mid and can actually do something. And they get the kills and they clean it up. Not much else to say other than that. Like, we probably have to jump out when we're that far stacked left side, or just all together, like, fight the guy left, you know, or rush their plat. One of us rush their plat, something like that. Our only real chance there is to make a play for some extra space on left. Okay. Yeah, pack again, same issue as always. It's a little better here because you pack closer, you can actually, like, fight people. But again, like you're trying to hold space, even the strikes too. Both are just trying to hold space where we're not gonna find much space. Like, look at what this does, right? You get a pick. It doesn't in the end stop them from pushing here. Because our teammates just don't have enough space and time and control to be able to salvage it. So all of that special burning was not for very much, because they clearly just take tower here and move through. Our specials, like pack especially, would be super useful on the snipe. Super useful. Or not snipe, what am I saying? Bats. Like this back part right here. What else? Same with strikes too. Like strikes can be used at the first check. We don't need to worry too much about using them when we're 2 down like that. Just not good. Okay. I mean, this just happens because we go in too quickly after. Like we're again, even here, we just got caught out for just trying to hold hold everything we can. Key, you do the exact same thing here. You just try, you dive, you try to hold like anything you can here, instead of respecting their space. And then Lex does the same thing, because Lex thinks you have actually gotten some space, like you actually hold it down, but by the time you die, Lex is out of position and the hammer comes out. So yeah, again, we're just biting off more than we can chew here with where we can stand. And that happens. We have to recover, and the only way to do that is by getting a special. That's like literally the only way to do it, unless you guys can like pick 2 in a safe way, which we kind of do there with the wiper. We get picked off by strikes, or with strikes. Yeah, I mean we still look really desperate here when we go for this. And a couple different ideas are going out at once. Like I think this is just you guys like trying to again salvage as much as you can as quickly as you can, instead of like looking at it being like, okay, we are going, let's try to stop strikes, or try to stop tower with strikes, right? Like the calls need to be made. Okay, we go for that. Like that's our play here. We're gonna stall tower with strikes, and we move in with strikes. And rather than that happening, like we're flanking, we're striking, like I said, and the carbon is has to jump back because we're out of position here. We're not even ready to really strike, so it's a whole mess here. It's a lot of a mess, and not too much of keeping it together. But it needs to be kept together. If you guys can't keep this together here, and we can't like bounce back from going 2 down, or from like how desperate we were to hold as much space as we could forward as possible, if we aren't able to realize that and stop that before it becomes too much of a problem, which here even it's too much of a problem, right? Because we just died twice. If you guys can stop that, you will do a lot better here. And same thing goes here. Like we strike a little early, right? And because of that, again, we get punished for it super quickly. And yeah, that's about it. I don't think there's too much else to say about this game because we wipe. Yeah, there's not. They have crab up too. This game's over. Okay. Yeah, so I think the biggest pattern that I've seen so far was just like how desperate we were to hold on to any space that we could. Even if the space that we were holding is destined to get taken by the enemy team, no matter like if we have like the best special in the game, like the space is still going to be taken because it's a 4v1, a 4v2. Like we have to be able to respect them for what they're going to be taking from us, I guess. And that's about it, I guess. Yeah, that doesn't always mean that you need to back up super quickly. Like as soon as you're in a 4v1 or 4v2 especially state, like you don't need to give up everything immediately, just run back. But it does mean that you need to be much more aware of where we are. One, where the team is, like how close we are to respawning. 2, where your teammate is if you are in like a 4v2, right? And 3, like where the enemy is. If you know where the enemy is, that stuff, then you can kind of know how much space you can hold, but don't like use a special to try to hold it. because I think that's part of what I'm saying by like being desperate is you guys are using special stuff like that in like 4v2 situations, which is not good. In general, it's not good. So yeah, I think that's like the biggest pattern I've seen is that we're doing exactly that. There was something else I wanted to say. Oh right, okay. You know, I said it was important that we recognize where our teammates are and where the enemy is, especially when we're in those like 4v2, 4v1 states. If you don't know where your teammates are or where the enemies are, or how much space you can be holding, then it's your time to back up. Like, no matter what, then you just back up. And don't look back, or you jump out or whatever. But if you have some sort of knowledge on what's going on, you can then play for at least some space, but that doesn't mean like die for that space. You know, if they then contest you, then you slightly back up. You know, you give them the space that you make them fight for, but you don't actually interact or fight. And that's how you keep the space that you guys are trying to hold, or as much of it as you physically can. But like at the same time, I think you guys are a step above some other teams, which will literally just like give up the space for free, right? Like, we don't want to be giving up the space for free, but at the same time, if we die for it, it's basically just as bad. So yeah, okay. Final game, Clams Museum. Here we go. Let's get into it. These were all like knockouts, huh? The VOD's gonna be a little short, or a little shorter than I expected. But maybe that's a good thing because my throat is dry. I need water. How long is this game? We got 3 minutes, around 3 minutes, 3.5. Okay. Let's start from the beginning. This is gonna be an important one, I'm sure. Clams. Okay, so this is a cool play. I like the play on the right. We do notice that we have to play slow for it. I like that a lot. Great, Lex. Great. Perfect. Exactly what we're looking for. Key dies for it, though. Okay. A lot of this is really well executed by you guys. It's just that we need to survive a little longer. Key, you maybe get like a little impatient, step a little past where you're able to go without dying, and you die for it. That's it. If Key is up here, you guys instantly win mid. No questions asked. Okay. It's fine. Okay, Lumi, you're super aggressive too. We're just, again, stepping out of position. This is rough. Lex just kind of has to salvage something. Trading the balls. Decent. Okay. So we're on plat. Oh my god, we get picked again. We have to stop this. Like that's exactly what I'm talking about. Like we're still trying to salvage whatever space we can, and because of it, we're just dying. Which is, it's the worst case scenario. I would rather you have to give up the space than die. Every single time. Yeah, and it just keeps happening here. Okay, it's weird that I can't back up too much more with my camera. But yeah, like I think the only one who can really do what you guys are trying to do is Lex. Because Lex, like, okay, if Lex is in some space that like Lex can't clearly hold, right? Lex can at least go for like a really good trade, maybe even double, right? Like the trades and doubles could actually be really good from Lex if they do it. But the rest of us, like, we just can't. We can't. We can't even bother most of the time. Okay. Yeah, when we get caught off from a pretty obvious play. Pack comes out. I like this pack. Actually, okay. I said I like this pack. I like it more than the other ones we've been doing, and I like it more because it has a target and it's pretty threatening. I saw this after you packed, but I do not like that it is top plaid. It's the only thing I have to say about this. Like, you could put it right below and have the same exact effect and be a lot safer. Yeah, that's all I have to say about it, actually. That's all that makes it not the best pack, because now you're guaranteed to die. And unfortunately you weren't able to find anything from it, so. Okay. Strikes come out. This is good. I really like that we're playing for this right, although both of us dropping in the pit is pretty questionable. I don't think we should both be dropping in a pit, and I think that's a lot of the reason why you die here. You play for strikes, or you play for the space strikes provides, which is good. Like, notice how, you know, this Glooga can't really do too much, even though they are in Booyah, but we do both drop, and now, okay, the Glooga has the high ground, the teammates are coming in, like, now it looks rough, right? Because we're in this pit. Like, what are we gonna do against the Umbrella in this pit? Nothing. So yeah. That's where it becomes rough, when we just instantly, like, kind of lose the advantage there because of our positioning. Lex gets 2, plus we get another 1. This is great. Oh, why do we all enter from the left side, though? Okay. Okay. Okay, actually, I don't think that's that bad. So the only thing I see from this, right, is Lex, if you go right instead of left, you have the opportunity to cut off the pen. They do have jumps in, but you do have that opportunity. You have that chance. You playing safer there after you get 2 is fine. Like, I think this is fine, actually, though, from you guys playing off left. It's just, like, when you do go left like this, we have to understand that, okay, because we decided not to cut off the pen or, you know, like, try to take the space right, we're going to be we're going to be a little slower on this left side. A lot slower than you're playing right now, Lex. And I'm very surprised you don't die immediately from it. Okay, you do die after from it. But yeah, because, like, you're trying to play as fast on left as you should be on right, is what I'm thinking here. And you can't do this on this side because you're slower to begin with. Like, because you go to play for this left side, you have no control over the space that you're taking right now. And so you're a sitting duck, and you die. Also key, you should be painting up. You shouldn't even be top mid. For basically the same issue. Like, at this point, we've taken the left route because it's less risky, and that's good. I like that we're trying to cut out risks, but when we go for this play for middle, like we do here, because we're trying to stop the Umbrella, like, then, okay, we just put so much more risk on this play, right? Instead of just taking the space that we had for like, you know, the space we had no matter what. That's what I'm saying. And then obviously Zuka's in a bad position too. Okay. Where she was caught by, yeah. This is just rough because, like, I mean, we're only taking this fight because we took a bad fight in mid, you know? Like, this is like a product or a result of what happens when we took that risky fight. Like, because we took that risky fight, we're now 2 down. Like, Horseshoe gets caught off too and is dead from it. So yeah, it's just like, this is exactly why, like, if we go for a safe play like that, we need to make sure it works out by just painting up mid. Like, we can't immediately go fight if we're gonna play for the longer, safer route like that. Oh, okay, that was a much better pack as well, because it stalled them for our teammates to get back in. They only score once, that's fine. We got to deal with this Umbrella, though. Ooh, looks like we just forgot about the Umbrella. I don't know if we don't have comms or what, but oh my god, we have no clue about the Umbrella, even after they picked 2 of us. Not good. This is really bad. The Umbrella should literally just be dead here. Like, Key shoots him, Horseshoe shoots him, Lumi shoots him, all dead. Or no, but instead we're all dead. Like, this should never happen. Yeah, and because of that, I don't really care about what happens with Lex. Like, Lex is dead no matter what, because we went 3 down to the Umbrella. That should have been dead. I also don't think I have to comment much on that, because I think that, like, it's pretty obvious, like, what we're doing wrong here. We're just not calming the Umbrella or something, I guess. So yeah. Oh, and then they just score. Why is Bro not scoring? Okay. I'll look at this. I mean, I don't think there's too much to say about this either, just because we get wiped right before, so like they're gonna score a lot. And like the pack comes out at a good time to like try to stop things, but yeah, like they're just in. Let's see. One more time. I don't think there's anything here though that I'm gonna comment on. Yeah, like because we wipe here and just immediately lose any advantage we had from that Brella and stuff, like it's just over. They have strikes in front. Double ball. We could be looking a little more right here. Yeah, I mean, like we're all by basket. You probably just have to dive a little further front to stop these balls getting in. Like that's all I really got to say about this. But this is like it's pretty much over as soon as you guys wipe here, I'd say. I don't think there's too much else to say about this. Yeah, and obviously we don't look box enough there or something. Okay, I think that's all I got. This is a shorter one than I thought it was, but I think I'm gonna keep it to 5 games because I think this is one still enough to look at for you guys, and also just because I don't want to have to cut the session and stuff to look at the other 2 games because I would have to go get water and stuff. But yeah, I think I see a lot of potential, and a lot of that potential is only really ruined from how often we just kind of don't stop dying and like, you know, don't recognize that, okay, wait, we can't take this space, and that kind of stuff. And that's a really important skill to learn because, you know, I mean, it's just important. It literally just is, especially just being able to be aware of your surroundings after coming in, or acknowledging that, okay, if I just jumped into this position, right, I don't have too much understanding of what's going around me, so I can't be playing too risky until I get a better like feel for where everyone is on the team, where everyone is on their team, the enemy team, you know, like when you go for these like super quick things on like blot, for example, when we did it for bats and stuff, when Key did it for bats and stuff, like you peeked with like 0 information on really where they are. You just know that they're there and you're trying to contest them, and that's just not what we can be doing. That's it. But I think that goes for basically every player on the team, though. I don't think it's it's just one specific person where we're both not gathering enough information of like what what the enemy team is doing, I guess, and we're also not yeah, we're also just risking our lives sometimes when we just don't need to be. Especially when most of the team is primarily down, you know. It's very important that we keep specials ready to go for defense. Like that's what you guys end up struggling on, is the defense, retake, whatever you want to call it. And it's because you guys don't have like any specials to really contest them, because to you guys it's like it's almost all or nothing, you know. Like when I watched this tower game, or when I watched yeah, I mean when I watched this tower game, or even like the Mako game, right, it's just like, okay, we have to go for this zone, we have to go for this tower now, we have no other option. But that's not really the case. And yeah, that's all I got. Yeah, thank you for tuning in. I will see you guys next time. I hope that how do I say this, like I feel like maybe, also from what Lumi told me, I feel like maybe comms is a big part of why part of this is going wrong for you guys with these games. And obviously, you know, when I'm doing like this type of coaching, I don't have access to comms, so maybe like maybe I could do something with like the stream, or like, you know, someone's stream or something, to also get a better idea of like what comms are like and stuff, because I know that does seem to be a bit of an issue, right? Especially after we saw what happened with that Brella. So yeah, maybe I'll ask for something like that for the next one, just so that I can get a feel for how that's going too, and I can also maybe help you guys with that. But yeah, I hope to, at least the next time we you know, I go through these games, I hope that it's after we maybe have a little bit of time to adjust to, okay, you know, when can I take these risks, when can I not, that kind of stuff, all the stuff I discussed. And hopefully there's a lot more, hopefully the problems aren't so much on the fact that we can't defend because we keep dying, you know. And hopefully the problems are more on something else. But yeah, I think if you guys get that down, you guys should be looking a lot better. And that's a lot of the reason why you guys are losing these defenses. Okay, I'm gonna go. See ya. Goodbye.